Hello everyone, Pontificator here again. Hey, Senate Bill 2635 was passed by the governor, passed and signed by the governor of Mississippi. And this addresses people like Mr. Colton Cathy and A1's exclusive towing. I almost feel like this towing package of rules and laws, which are genius and the best that I've read, and I've read towing packages from over probably 90 different cities over the years. I've been fighting towing, some of you know that. I've even traveled out of state to fight some of these in court for people and to help people. Colton Cathy got my attention a year ago when he illegally booted a friend's truck and everything else. And we see the power that Memphis has to handle him, as they've had hundreds of complaints and he's still in business. Now I know that they suspended his authority for a month, and a judge granted it right back immediately. He also he and a couple of his employees were arrested for physically yanking a driver out of his truck, holding him down and hooking up and stealing his truck. The next day a judge released them all, stating that the Memphis Police Department had an order prohibiting them from somehow having contact with this person. Now, I don't know who he has paid off, but the only way that kind of shit happens is if someone has been paid off, okay? But we're going to skip past that because Mississippi obviously does not play that. During the time that Mr. Colton Cathy was, his authority was suspended to tow in the city of Memphis, being in such close proximity to Arkansas and Mississippi, he started towing and performing his illegal tows in those two locations. I think Arkansas booted him out rather quickly, and then this nugget from Mississippi. The governor signed a set of laws here. Obviously, the first 8 or 9 pages are the definition of towing and everything that goes with it. And that's just legal stuff that helps protect them in court. Towing recovery service shall not retain any fees or charge any fees other than those permitted by the eventually to be set up towing commission. So there's going to be a set of fees that they can charge, and that's it. But you're going to see how I'm excited about this for Mr. Colton Cathy down in Memphis. Mr. Colton Cathy, just so you know, I hope that you're put out of business soon. You are a conscienceless bastard. Stealing trucks from people, charging thousands of dollars, and then in a recent case, you added, I think it was $800 to a tow, as your own employee stated, because you guys were angry that the driver did not get arrested. I don't even know what kind of fee that is. That's an emotional fee, or I don't know what it is. But you should be in jail, okay? And you're only surviving at this. I'm going to step aside here for a minute. You're only surviving because everybody that you do this to leaves the state immediately. I'll bet you wouldn't do that shit to 100 people that live in Memphis. They would take care of this problem themselves. But anyway, let's get back to this. Enough about Mr. Cathy until we get to the fun stuff about Mr. Cathy. They put a lot of good stuff in this particular law. One of them here I'm looking at. When they come in to boot someone, they must take 4 photographs. Both sides showing the entire truck and trailer, front, and then they have to take an additional picture that demonstrates how the vehicle is parked illegally. They did so good on this. It goes down here. If this happens to someone, they can complain to this towing commission that's going to be set up. The towing commission will then reach out to the towing company and request those pictures that demonstrate that the vehicle was in fact illegally parked. It says the section C under one is section 7, paragraph C. A towing and recovery service's failure to produce the photograph shall create a rebutable presumption that the tow and recovery did not have the authority. Towing and recovery service did not have the authority to tow the vehicle. So if you don't have the pictures, you towed them illegally. That's beautiful. I love it. Law enforcement request initiated. Tow services have the permission to tow a commercial motor vehicle from the owner's lot. So you have to have the owner's permission, etc. They get around this by stating that they have a contract. Can we see your contract? No, we don't have it on us. Officer, can you make them produce the contract? Well, we don't. We can't see they have. And just nobody's doing their whole job here. And I understand Memphis tries. I dealt with an officer in South Carolina. I'm sorry. It was right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina at 3 o'clock in the morning a couple of weeks ago on one of these situations that he was trying his hardest to help us. But in any case, let's get back to the meat of this. Towing service does not assess a drop fee, so they can't assess a drop fee. If the driver of the vehicle is either present or shows up before the vehicle is hooked, which means if he's in the vehicle, you shouldn't even hook it up. You have to drop the vehicle and you get no money. Zero. You can't charge a fee for this. And I just think that that is beautiful because it incentivizes towing companies from hooking up to the vehicle in the first place, even if the driver is present and in the vehicle. So if the driver has to sit there and he calls the cops, cops are going to show up and they're going to say, drop the truck and move your tow truck. Well, you know, we have to charge him a fee. No, you can't. You can't charge him jack. He's free to go, and you're going to let go of his truck right now. Where is the best part of this for Mr. Colton Cathy? It's the booting. They have a section on booting. During a non-consensual tow, whether on private property or otherwise, no booting device or immobilization device shall be placed without the presence of a police officer. Yay! I don't know how to do the fancy dancing stuff all over the screen because I got other things to do with my life, but this is beautiful, guys. If you're in the Memphis area and you want to feel safe and secure that you're not going to be the victim of predatory towing, this doesn't go into effect until June 1st, I believe it is. Maybe it's July 1st. But I know that it's hard to park. I'm sorry, June 1st, it goes into effect. But you want to park in a place, I can't say it'll be safe, but at least it will be protected from the predatory towing companies. Hop across that line, drop down into Memphis or Mississippi. Give them your money. Leave Memphis. Drop down into Mississippi. It's a couple of miles. And give them your money. They are protecting you with this piece of legislation right here. So, kudos to Mississippi. If you guys have the time, send an email or something to the governor's office thanking the governor for signing this, or pick a senator there, anyone that you want, because most of them voted this up. Obviously, it's a law. So a little bit of protection coming. A lot of states can take a lot of notes from this. In the case of Memphis, the city of Memphis alone, they could stop Colton Cathy legally in one fell swoop. And I've said this in a couple of videos, but for those of you who haven't seen it, I'll say it again. The practice of booting at the state level is prohibited in the state of Tennessee. However, they've granted it to municipalities, local municipalities, to allow booting. So Memphis could end this mess with Colton Cathy and anybody like him that might be operating down there by simply saying, there's no more booting. Booting is now not legal. We're going to revert back to the state law on this one. Colton Cathy's out of business. He's got to go get a real job. No, he's not going to get a real job. He has to then figure out his next scam. selling golden tennis shoes and maybe all of this stuff going on with cars. How is it that a guy like this can be tied up into stolen car sales, but maybe it wasn't and he got off? Now all of this stuff with the booting, beating up and dragging people out of their trucks. In one case, he waited the truck out for, I don't know, 17 hours. They called me up. They're out of Ohio. When they finally were losing, after the noise disturbances of their boys that showed up blaring boom boxes all night long so the driver couldn't sleep, they raised the hood on the truck and cut the air conditioning lines. Yes, they damaged the truck. So the inside temperature would reach 120 degrees, forcing the driver out, and then they towed it. How they're not in jail again. He makes a lot of money doing this, and I'm sure a lot of other people in Memphis do as well. I'm sorry, I'm tired of speaking nicely about Memphis, but there's no way that a crook like this can continue to operate unless someone is on the take. All right? So, everyone, once again, thank you to the state of Mississippi. You've done great work here. I'm actually going to share this with other states, especially some of the problem areas like the Charlotte, a couple of spots in Ohio, a couple spots down in South Carolina, there's a couple spots in Minnesota. They're all over mostly this half of the country, which is where most of the traffic takes place anyway. Dallas, there's a Walmart there. I've gotten so many calls from Dallas, from drivers being taken advantage of by tow companies there. They go in, they spend money, and then they come out and they're booted. These are crimes, people. They're crimes. And I'm sure it's not Walmart's intent to have their customers treated this way. So thank you again for watching this video. Please like it, just like everyone else. Like, share, comment, help me boost this up. And look out for my next video, which is coming in a few moments. I'm going to get a lot closer to my plan to create a much better environment in trucking across this entire country. Thank you very much.